Welcome to the show that takes up no more than 5 minutes of your time, but could help you gain massive real estate knowledge. It's 5 Minutes in Real Estate with best-selling author Shane Willis.
All right, so good morning, happy Thursday. What am I tell you? It's kind of funny. You love technical difficulties. I have actually recorded this podcast twice, but for some reason, each time my phone decided to pause right as we started. So, I guess even the phone does not want to talk about taxes. We're going to talk about taxes. We're going to get this right. I tell you what, I'm making a whole bunch of laps around the neighborhood today. After a CrossFit workout, boy, I'm going to sleep good tonight. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about taxes, the new tax code, and how it affected real estate, because there was a lot of people out there that thought this new tax code that Trump came out with was going to seriously affect real estate negatively. So I pulled a lot of reports together from a lot of different places. I'm going to ask for forgiveness a little bit. I'm going to be doing some reading because I wrote this up and I want to make sure that I'm getting and quoting the right numbers. I've got a link to where I've got all this information from. So each one of these points that I'm about to go over, there's a link to where I got it from. So you're more than welcome to dig into it if you're subscribed to get the tips and tricks. And we'll talk about how you can do that if you're not. Anyways, what do we title this? 5 ways the tax reform has impacted the 2018 housing market. So one of the big things that everybody was worried about was the tax reduction, or the limitation reduction that came with the new tax reform. Now let me explain. It was $1 million. If you had $1 million loan on your property, January or December 31st, 2017, you could deduct the interest. That got reduced from $1 million to $750,000. Now a lot of people look at me and go, well, I don't have anywhere near that on my property, so I'm good. You're right, you're good. Unless you've also got a home equity line of credit or a vacation home, and they start combining them. They're kind of combining them. We're going to talk about that in just a minute because I want to go over a couple other topics, but yeah, stay tuned for that one. And for you boat owners that have the bedroom and the head in it and are using the tax deduction, well, this kind of come into play too. Yes, I did say boats could qualify. It's interesting, isn't it? All right, number 1. I'm asking 5 questions. I'm going to answer them. Has tax reform killed off the buyer demand? The answer is no. There's a company out there called Showing Time. I love Showing Time. Showing Time handles all my transactions to when we go to show a property. Meaning, an agent wants to show a property that's occupied with one of my clients, they call Showing Time. Showing Time picks up the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yes, they do answer on Christmas Day. I tested it and told the nice lady Merry Christmas and sorry to bother her. She said, thank you. I actually was really bored. I wanted to talk to somebody. So we wound up talking for like 15 minutes. Anyways, somebody calls Showing Time. Showing Time then coordinates with my client about getting that agent in for showing. So that way we've got basically an answering service that answers 24/7 and schedules nothing but real estate showings. So they came out with this report and they tracked the average number of buyer showings on active residential property on a monthly basis. Okay, here's what they came out. Buyer demand has increased each month over the last 3 months. So this was the first quarter. So this came out this month, but they were talking about the first quarter. And they said in April, and is higher this month, that was in April, than it was this month last year. April's usually one of the bigger months. April and May are the bigger months for buyers. So has the tax code dropped buyer demand? Answer to that question is simply no. Has the tax changes affected America's belief that real estate is the best long-term investment? I'm going to answer this one briefly. I'm going to say no. And if you want some more information on it, because this talks about the Gallup report, and I'll read what came straight out of the Gallup report. It says, more Americans name real estate over several other vehicles for growing wealth as the best long-term investment for the 5th year in a row. I talk a whole episode about this yesterday. So if you didn't listen to yesterday's report, once you get finished with this one, go back listen to it. I think it's an 8 or 9 minute recording. It's not long, but I talk about why that's the case. So I'm not going to go any further depth on that one today. Number 3, has home ownership rates been negatively impacted by the tax change? Home ownership rates. The Census Bureau came out. This is what they said. Not only did home ownership rates not crash, it's increased when compared to the first quarter of last year. So have home ownerships been? Nope. Tax code hadn't hurt that. Well, that's 3 out of the 5 questions. Now let's talk about the big one that I said that everybody was worried about. There's some other tax codes, but this big one has really got everybody up in arms at the beginning of the year. The question is, has the upper end market been crushed excuse me, by the new state and local tax limitations? That's that million down to 750,000. I'm going to give you this data, and then I'm going to give you a caveat. One, who came out? Oh, it was the National Association of Realtors, right? Sales between 500,000 and 750,000 are up 4.5% year over year. So between the 500,000 and 750,000, they're up. Now that's considered luxury. Anything over 500,000 is considered a luxury. But that also means that that's going up. So, but they're still in the tax code because it says up to 750,000. You still get the deduction, so that shouldn't have been affected. Let's talk about between 750 and a million. 750 and a million, we're up 15.1% year over year. Okay, wait a minute. That means they're not as worried about it. Okay, well, maybe they're buying a million and putting 25% down so they can still get the tax deduction because then their loan's only $750,000. Okay, so let's look at over a million. Sales over a million are up 17.3% year over year. That doesn't sound like that tax code crushed that market at all. Sounds like that market is just marching along the way it should. Now, Shane, everything can't be rainbows and unicorns. You're right. You've heard I've gotten more comments on that rant when I was getting upset with some agents that everybody, there's always rainbows and unicorns. No, there's not. So what's the non-rainbow and unicorn here? I was reading an article in the Wall Street Journal, was it today or yesterday? Anyways, within the last 48 hours, we'll just call it that talked about how home equity line of credits have gone way down to buy vacation homes. People were tapping into $250,000 worth of home equity line of credits in their home in Baltimore or New York or Chicago and buying their vacation home, their beach home here in Florida. That's gone way down, and that has a direct correlation to the tax code. So has it affected some parts of the market? Yes. Is the purchase market? No, it's the lending market. Instead, it makes more sense, and you have to talk to your CPA on how to do this, but it makes more sense. What they have seen is a direct correlation of HELOCs, home equity lines of credit, going way down, but people financing their vacation home. Because that makes sense, but there is still a combination there, so talk to the CPA if you plan on doing that, okay? All right, what was the 5th one? Man, I had a heck of a workout in CrossFit, and so having to walk the block here like 3 times and re-record this, I'm out of breath. I gotta get in better shape. I'm trying. Number 5, will the reforms in the tax code cause home prices to tumble over the next 12 months? Well, that's what everybody was asking me. Well, you know what? Matter of fact, I hear some people, I still hear them in my head at the holiday parties. And we were talking, and they go, well, this new tax code is going to drive real estate prices down, and when they do, that's what I'm going to buy. Like, and you're the guy that joins the gym every January, and by Valentine's, you're not using it anymore. You're paying the 20 some odd dollars or 30 some odd dollars to go to the gym, but you just don't do it. You just don't go. Oh, Chicken Little. So, has it done it? Let's talk about the law of math here. Has it done it? Will it cause it to tumble in the next 12 months? CoreLogic came out with this report. It said Home Price Insight Report. Home prices will appreciate. This is their statement. Home prices will appreciate in each of the 50 states over the next 12 months. Appreciation is projected to be anywhere from 1.9% to 10.3%, with the national average being 4.7%. Do I think that Florida is going to fall in the 1.9%? No. Do I think that we here in the Panhandle are going to fall in the 10.3%? No. I think we're probably going to be real close to that national average, which is a good thing. I don't want prices to double-digit appreciate. That's what got us in 2004, 5, and 6. That's when people start making stupid decisions, because now they're basing their entire real estate decisions off appreciation. And I'm sorry if I sound a little passionate about it, but I made that mistake, and it cost me my home. So I don't want to see appreciation going up that fast. But do I see even the bears saying anything's going to depreciate? No. Nobody is saying this stuff is going to depreciate over the next 12 months. Nobody's saying that it's going to depreciate over the next 5 years. Everybody is saying, even the bears are thinking over 5 years you're going to see about a 10% return. You're going to average about 2% a year. And that's the people that think everything goes down. You know, and when I invest in stocks, do I invest sometimes as a bear? Yeah, I think some stuff's going to go down. You can make money as a bear, so I'm not trying to bash them. I just know they're thinking that stuff's going down. Okay, it may be going down, but is real estate? No, not in the next 5. That's my predicament. All the data, all the statisticians have said the same thing. So, again, sorry if I'm a little passionate about that. That's something I get aggravated about. Anyways, that's tax codes. Tax code has not hurt the real estate market anywhere near what a bunch of people thought it was. Nowhere near it. Just not even close. All right, that's all I got for you today. As always, if you have not got subscribed to get the tips, tricks, the links to all this information that I'm putting out, get over to 5minutesinrealestate.com. That's 5minutesinrealestate.com. Also, if you've not subscribed to the podcast, get over to iTunes or Google Play. We're on both of those. We're looking at adding some more here this quarter, but trying to work a few bugs out. Right now it's iTunes and Google Play. Get over there, search Minutes Real Estate. You'll find us. 5 Minutes Real Estate. You'll see my ugly mug there staring at you, smiling. Hit subscribe, hit like, give me a nice comment. I don't want mean comments. I just want a nice comment. And finally, as always, I never ask for payments. Never ask for payments on this. When I do, however, ask if you found any value in this or any other episode. I ask that you share it on social media. I'm looking down at my recording. It didn't mess up this time. Yay, I don't have to walk the block a 4th time. Have a great Thursday.